Okay, here's Pando. Pando is a 16 one-hand, 6-year-old thoroughbred gelding by Violence, which is a Medaglia d'Oro line, and he's been here going on 2 weeks now, if not 2 weeks. And so I probably had about a half a dozen rides on Pando, and so I feel like I'm just getting to know him better. And this ride is nothing special. We don't do anything new or exciting. This is just a regular old ride, and Billy just happened to be out here with me, so why not take some video? So I feel like I know Pando pretty well now in regards to his strengths and his weaknesses. And obviously, I mean, his strength is that his canter is unbelievable. He has a absolute top tier canter. It's like sitting on a rocking chair on a sunny day. It's just the most incredible feeling. And probably his bigger weakness, and this is normal, they all have side, left, right, is that he actually finds the flexion to the right a little bit easier than the flexion to the left. So I spend almost the whole ride working the left, and specifically working the left canter. I get the flexion pretty good in the trot. And of course, the canter. It's always hardest in the canter. That's just the nature of it. So I spend quite a while working the left canter. So I apologize if it's kind of boring because it's just lots of minutes of me working the left canter. But it really improves, I think, as the ride goes on. And he's just such a magnificent horse. Any excuse to sit on this horse is well worth it. And so the only change from the last time I sat on him to this time is that I've got him in a Trust Inno full cheek, which is just a really, really soft, bendy rubber straight bar full cheek. And he doesn't have a flash on. I was riding him in an egg butt snaffle, which was fine. And the bridle had like kind of a figure eight type noseband. It wasn't exactly a figure eight, but it was just like the how am I trying to say this? The flash is attached to the noseband. You can't take it off, so it has to be used. And he actually got a little rub under his chin, which I felt terrible about. So obviously now we're using a different bridle. He does not have the flash on. So different bridle, different bit, no flash. And actually, this horse is so soft. I don't know why I wasn't riding him in a soft rubber bit to begin with. He went beautifully. I actually think he found like the best roundness and connection that he has found since he's been here. So we just changed to the left, and as you can see on this circle here, which is hilariously circling around Annie, my blue tick, who had a little beach day out here in the ring. He just wants to lean on the left shoulder a little bit, particularly right here on the circle. So I'm just, using the circle to try and help him find the left flexion. When they're this right off the track, at this stage in their training, you're not going for 100%. You're just asking, and you're asking them to give a little bit. They just have to try. And as long as they keep trying, you keep chipping away at it, eventually it gets there. Sometimes it gets there in a ride. Sometimes it takes a couple rides or a couple months or whatever. But Pando has an incredible work ethic. He is so happy to do the job. So he is certainly a horse who's happy to keep chipping away at whatever you ask him to do. And so same thing down here, changed locations, still working on the same exact thing, which is just finding some nice left flexion. Feeling like he's wrapping around my inside leg, which actually right here feels quite good. Yeah, the canter is definitely spectacular. That's the headline of this horse. But the trot is also nothing to shake a stick at. It's very lovely. And then that was so cute. I wasn't per se asking him to pick up the canter over the pole. To the right, he just trotted over the pole, and that was great. It's kind of like at this point, it's his decision. I want him to go over the pole in a straight, balanced way, and if he wants to use it to pick up the left canter, that's fine. And so now that we're in the left canter, we're just going to work on the left canter for basically the rest of the ride. And it's not obscene, the fact that the left flexion isn't quite as good as the right, but it's just a little bit of, when you sit in the tack, you can feel just a little bit of lean on that inside shoulder, that his shoulders aren't quite up and square. Actually, right here, this is very good. I mean, he really gets it nicely on the circle. This feels lovely. Down this long side, for whatever reason, is the place where he feels, you see the lean there on the left shoulder. So we're circling here to try and get the shoulders back up straight, which we do. This is very good. Yep, and then some more lean here, and again, I'm asking, and it's just sort of, you're just going to keep asking. Your success rate's going to increase little by little. The key is that you don't want to make it, it's not like, it's not a battle. You don't want it to be man versus beast. This is just totally normal, young green horse training. And he's perfectly willing to keep trying. So you just keep asking, and you just get, sort of closer to each other, what you're asking, to the same goal, inch by inch. And then this was a much improved alongside from the last couple, so that was better. And then hilariously, I lose the right shoulder here, so that's what you're seeing is now he's falling out the right shoulder. So, close one door, open another. That's just how it goes. And then this is very good. This actually feels better than very good. This feels like a riding on a cloud. A little bit lost the right shoulder there. And this is lovely. Here we are, still cantering to the left. Oh, Pando. He does not mind at all, though. He's like so happy and relaxed. He has such an amazing internal sort of self-regulation, and he's very secure within himself in general. He's just like, sure, I could do this all day, which is great because I could do it all day too. This is not a horse that you mind sitting on. And then this is so much better here down this long side. I feel like I actually got the shoulders up and straight, super improved. I think he has a little spook here coming up at something. Annie was in the ring. Gus was wandering in and out of the woods. I don't know. He saw something out of the corner of his eye. So there you have it. He is alive. But, it's no big deal. Takes 2 steps to get him reorganized. And then, of course, I'm just going to spend a minute down here in this corner making sure that, we're over it and it's no big deal. Which actually, he almost even steps into like a rounder, nicer canter after the spook. So in a way, maybe it helped get him up in front of my leg a little bit more. Yeah, this feels so lovely. And then this trot is just lovely. So super good boy. Always a fun ride on Pando.